Hi, everybody. I'm Leon Thomas, and welcome to another big announcement show. We have something big happening that we're going to announce right here on the big announcement show. I'm Leon Thomas with the Leon Thomas Group. To learn more about us, go to our website, theleonthomasgroup.com. But when we have big announcements, you don't want to hear from me. You want to hear what the announcement is. So let's do this. Let's bring on Sasha Thompson and Timothy Teriyaki, and let's talk about what this big announcement is. Let's bring Tim and Sasha on the screen. Hey, Sasha, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Leon?
Doing well. Hey, Timothy, how are you?
Hey, Leon, I'm very good. Great to be here. Thanks for hosting us.
Yes, my pleasure to have you here. So there's a big announcement here, and Sasha, tell us. Tell us about this big thing that's happening. It's called the Inclusive Leadership Certification Program. Go ahead, tell us about it.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us, Leon. So, actually, Tim and I have come together. We brought our two companies together to create the Equity Leadership Institute, which is a certification program. And our first certification is exactly what you just mentioned, the Inclusive Leader Certification. We are really excited about this. It brings together kind of the best of both worlds. You know, the work that I've been doing with the equity equation, along with Tim's work with the Maslow Research Center and Leadership Institute that he has, and pulling it all together to create this 4-day certification that really helps leaders hone in on their inclusive leadership skills. So we're just really excited about this collaboration.
Yeah, it sounds like a great collaboration. And Timothy, that Sasha said that the two of you came together. Tell me, give me like the backroom conversation. What are some things that y'all talked about? Some of the big wins that you see happening here.
Sure, Leon. So I've been working on not just the last 3 years, last 15 years on understanding how leadership and organizations are changing and evolving in the 21st century, and what's that direction towards humanizing the workplace. So with that philosophy in mind, I've been researching and understanding that movement forward on what it means to be a leader in 21st century organization. Now that research accelerated during COVID, as COVID dramatically accelerated everything. And one of my biggest mantras is the people who left offices are not the same ones that came back. And with all these terms of great resignation, great quitting, quiet quitting, whatever we want to call it, for me, there's a simple way of explaining that. The big dominant paradigm used to be that, hey, we need to go big or go home, and everyone would say, let's go big. Nowadays, you tell that someone you want to go big, go home, they're like, I'll see you at home later on. So, and that change in philosophy is a change of acknowledged needs, and I don't think that these are new needs. These have been always there. These are inherent human needs uh, as a species, and I've been researching to understand the human needs in the workplace. So as some of my research has pointed out and found that inclusion is one of the lifelines, and I wanted to have an opportunity to collaborate on inclusion, and we met Sacha, and as I met Sacha, I got to learn about her experience, her expertise, her thought leadership in this field. I know that this was meant to be, and so we combined our forces with the research that we've done on the changing workplace needs and motivations, and Sacha's expertise on equity, and that's where we are.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. No, Timothy, Sasha said that it was the two your two organizations coming together. Tell us some about how y'all met. How did you and Sasha come together to do this? And then Sasha, I want to talk with you some about where you think some of the big wins are going to be here. Go ahead, Timothy.
Sure. Well, again, both of us, what we share with Sasha is that we're both lifelong learners, like continuously at any place in our lives. We're like, what are we learning this year? Which certificate program are we going to? So it happened to be that Sasha joined one of our executive coaching certificate programs, the lifelong learner, as she was building her toolkit portfolio. And when I got to meet her and learn about her expertise, then I had a chance to learn from her on her areas and fields of expertise. So this mutual way of learning then turned into very geeky conversations, and and from that, but it was just heart and soul and vision alignment, and how can we make more good. But over to you, Sasha, what do you say?
No, absolutely. When I first heard about kind of the Maslow coaching program, I think I'd gone to some seminar and Tim was speaking. And I think within 2 minutes, I was already researching, like, okay, what is this program? Because it was so aligned with my thoughts and my philosophy. And so, just as he said, it was just this environment of learning from each other that I truly appreciated. And so I actually have two certifications from Maslow because it was just so much aligned with what we are doing. And, to answer your question, Leon, around kind of what do I see the future of this being, it really is that heart centered aspect and bringing the humanness back to the workplace. For so long, everyone has been operating as if they've been cogs in a wheel. And what Tim's research has been showing us is it's people want to be treated as human, right? They want to feel valued, seen, heard, connected. But what I noticed in the work that I was doing with the equity equation is there are lots of people leaders out there that want that, but they don't know how to do it. And so that's what the certification is about, is providing them with the toolkits and competencies, right? The skill set to be able to do the how, right? What does this look like in real time? And it's not just checking a box to say, I went to this training, but how do I embody what I'm learning? How do I get in touch with who I am as a leader, as a human, right? And I'm not just regurgitating what the leaders before me did, because I'm now fully aligning, Tim will appreciate this, with my North Star, right? Like I'm aligning with who I am as a leader. And so then I can truly show up more authentically in the workplace and have other people connect and be able to follow them, right? Lead them in a way that is meaningful to them and not necessarily meaningful to me.
Leon Thomas. We're here for the big announcement show. I'm talking to Sasha Thompson and Tim Teriyaki about the Inclusive Leader Certification Program. To learn more about that program, go to their website. The website is equityleadershipinstitute.com, or you can send an email to info@equityleadershipinstitute.com. They have two in-person sessions coming up. Sasha, tell us about the first one. It's in Maryland, my home state. You're coming to Maryland. I love it.
It
Tell us when that
is.
first one is in Maryland.
Absolutely. So the first one is going to be October 11th through 13th in Columbia, Maryland. We thought that it would be important to do in person because, again, it goes back to the human element of this work and connecting with community. So the first one is going to be there. The second one is going to be 2 weeks later in California, where Tim is. We're going to do an in-person there as well, too. And, we're really just starting with these two, but we're really looking to expand in 2024 with continuing in these locations, potentially going into your organization and bringing those sessions directly to you where you are. So those are the first two. Looking forward to having more in the future.
And again, those dates in Maryland, that's going to be October 11th to 14, October 11 to 14 in
Mhm.
Maryland. And in California, that's October 25 to 28, 25th to 28. Tim, tell us, what city in California is this going to be? We know it's in Columbia, Maryland, right kind of between Washington and Baltimore. Where in California, Tim?
It's going to be in the beautiful Orange County, Newport Beach. And so those that want to combine maybe a little bit of a time off with a West Coast visit, we look forward to hosting them. Sasha and I will both be there on the California session, and we look forward to helping them bridge wonderful leadership skills that will help them, that will open their career path for the coming years, if not decades.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I appreciate what you are doing. Now, one of the things that I saw on your website was this statement. And Sasha, I'd like you to talk to this statement. And then Tim, you go next. It says, it's not being a better leader, it's about creating better workplace, right? Or workplace. That's something that you hear so many folks for years talking about, oh, the environment, the workplace, it isn't any good. Can you give us a little
Mhm.
tip on just one or two things that it takes to make a better workplace?
One of the things that I focus on a lot is creating psychological safety. And so that's going to be an element of this. It's not just making sure that people are doing something with a widget, right? Like we're always doing things with widgets, make it, break it, sell it, whatever. It is, what type of environment are we creating, right? Is it one where people feel safe to speak up, right? Where they can say to you as a leader, hey, I think there's another way that we can do this. And they don't feel as if there's going to be any retribution in you speaking up or saying something. And so we want to be able to help equip people with those skills so that they can get that feedback and be able to actually coach other people on their teams on how to respond, or different ways that they can respond, right? So that we're getting the best out of everyone and creating an environment where everyone wants to focus on collaboration and learning and growing versus holding on to their best ideas or feeling as if they don't want to contribute or only contribute a little bit because they don't feel valued. And so that's what that really means. It's creating an environment where everyone is thriving and really wants to thrive there.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it. I like it. Go ahead, Tim.
Now, the environment creation in this post-COVID realm, hybrid workplace, do we go back to the office? Do we not? Do we work? But it's not about having foosball tables in a workplace environment. The environment is created by managers, by people managers and leaders. So we're not the first one to say, like, people join companies, but they leave managers. They leave poor managers. And in Gallup's 2019 book, which they did a lot of number crunching, and they said the number one benefit you could provide to your people are great managers, are great inclusive coach managers. Now, there's so much evidence of this now. It's almost like it's, yes, both the art and the science, but the science part, we're able now, we're seeing on how to build that great workplace environment through inclusive leadership. And as this evidence is now out there, we're combining this multiple skill sets, what many people call soft skills for the last decades. Many managers, like, it's standard, right? You get trained on communication skills and presentation, negotiation, mediation, all of this. But what's happening is that now, in order to build that workplace environment, we need programs that teach managers how to use the skill set together rather than disconnected, siloed skill sets. So what we've done with Sacha, combining our realms and putting a lot of thought on the research and the practice and our real life experience, is that how do we get these managers to build great workplace environments with true inclusion, the authenticity? And Sacha is bringing incredible strength on the inclusive communication skills and that understanding of self and narrative and intergenerational narrative. And I'm bringing the research on the workplace needs and coaching skills. So we're teaching leaders this way of not siloed emotional intelligence, psychological safety, coaching, and all of them. How do you get this to work together? These different Lego pieces that we have, and we put them together for this wonderful way of making sense of it. And that's what we're bringing and excited to share with the world.
I like
And
it.
I want to add one thing too. Tim talks a lot about like frameworks and mindsets. And, rather than saying soft skills, I've been starting to think of them as power skills, right? Because that's what they are. And I've had someone on my show talk about that. And ever since they've said that, it just shifted. These are power skills, right? This is what is going to drive the 21st century workplace. So yeah, I love it.
I like it. We're talking about the Inclusive Leader Certification Program with Tim Teriyaki and Sacha Thompson. They have partnered to create a certification program. And to get more information about it, you can go to their website, equityleadershipinstitute.com. And if you'd like to email Sacha or Tim, the email address is info@equityleadershipinstitute.com. They have two upcoming in-person certifications. One is in Columbia, Maryland, October 11th to the 14th. And then in California, in Newport, California, October 25th to 28th. So you don't want to miss it. You want to make sure that you go to the website, get more information, sign up, and just sharpen your leadership skills to become a better leader, a better leader in your organization. This is going to be something we're really looking forward to seeing the great results of the work that Sacha Thompson and Tim Teriyaki have put together. So, Tim, early on, you talked two things. I want to make two quick comments. One, you said you and Sacha started having geeky conversation, right? So I'm gonna start talking geeky conversation too later. I'll remind the production team about that later. We'll have geeky conversation. But also, you talked about foosball, right? I once worked for a company that had pool tables in the lobby, all right? So I went down and I played pool, and I kept beating people at pool. Suddenly, they told me not to play pool anymore. I said, "Why is the pool table here?" That's a problem, right?
Well, yeah, that's part of the environment creation, and sometimes it can get confusing for people. You put it, do we use it, do we not use it? What's rules, regulations, and this dilemma. I think that's a great example of the dilemmas in the workplace. There's constant dilemmas. Do it, don't do it. Like what's
Yeah,
flexibility? You have it, you don't have it. Authority, you have it, you don't have it. And within this, it's confusing because it's and these days many leaders are struggling as well. What we're noticing is that one of the biggest dilemmas for people leaders is that, like, do I keep my focus on results, product, services, or do I keep my focus on the people, the finding, the recruiting, the motivating, the engaging? What do I do? What's my role? It's both and. It's
yeah,
both and the leader's role on both, like leading uh, the business, but leading the people. And what we're doing is we're balancing those both sides. So now, what would have been even better in your case if the manager would have like a little stand-up meeting around the foosball table or the pool table, and maybe
yeah,
have a little stand-up meeting around there, right? Noticing if that's what you're interested in, you're spending a lot of time there. And but how do you include people in their natural ways of working, and it also connects to high performance. I think the dynamics of high performance is changing, and a great, again, geeky narrative which I'll share is the narrative changes that the previous one, or the one we're trying to move out, is the organization should be a well-oiled machine and we're machine pieces, which really dehumanizes if you think in that way, right? So the better metaphor, the narrative that we're moving towards, and some organizations, some leaders are like adopting this, that we're cells of the body. We're cells of the body working together. It's an organism where we're all alive, right? And it's understanding our humanness, our uniqueness, and bringing us together.
yeah, yeah. I like it. Sacha, we'll give you the final word. Sacha, give us the dates again, the locations, and anything else you'd like to add before we sign off. Go ahead, Sacha.
Absolutely. So you can find us on October 11th through 14th in Columbia, Maryland, or 2 weeks later, you can find us October 25th through 28th in Newport Beach, California. Both are in person. We would love to have you there. Reach out to us on info@equityleadershipinstitute.com if you have questions, if you have a couple of people that want to come talk to us, because we would definitely love to have you all there with us. This is going to be a phenomenal experience. You are going to be part of an amazing community. And we'll just continue, right? We'll continue to add and nurture and make sure that those leadership skills and power skills are honed throughout the program and beyond. So really looking forward to seeing everyone there.
Great. Tim Teriyaki, Sacha Thompson, we're looking forward to you having great success with your new endeavor. And we're looking forward to so many people attending and leaving being better leaders. Thank you so much for being here on the Big Announcement Show. I'm Leon Thomas, again, reminding you to learn more. You can go to the it's equityleadershipinstitute.com for more information. Thanks for watching the Big Announcement Show. Here we go.